All right. Nice to be with you this afternoon. So today, an opportunity to continue this sequence of meditations on developing a good heart. And as I've mentioned in the past, there are 5 meditations in this sequence on developing a good heart. The first 3 are meditations on love, different kinds of love, affectionate love, cherishing love, wishing love. And the fourth is the mind of great compassion. The fifth is one called bodhicitta, which I'll explain in a couple of weeks. But today, focused on this third of these minds of love, wishing love. So, just to clarify, these 3 minds of love, they're all closely related, but each of them builds on the next. So, the first of them, the mind of affectionate love, is the most natural kind of love. It's just a feeling, it's a warm heart and a feeling of closeness. It's the feeling you have when you see a friend, when you see someone you like or trust, feeling you have maybe when you pet your pet dog, cat. Um, it's the feeling you have when you see a touching video someplace, and there's a warm heart, a feeling of closeness. You can empathize with somebody else. It's very based on feeling. That's the main characteristics, feeling based. The second mind, cherishing love, is based on a view or a way of seeing the world. It is the mind that sees others as important or precious and sees their happiness and their freedom as important and precious as well. So based on the mind that likes others, feels, has a sense of a warm heart, feeling of closeness for others, then we naturally can develop this cherishing love, this belief that they are important, and their happiness and freedom are important. And that belief, because it is part of our way of viewing the world, helps to stabilize things. Whereas affectionate love is a little bit more transient because it's so based on how we feel. You think about the relationship a parent has with their child. They love them dearly. Sometimes the child brings such a feeling of warmth and joy and love, right? Because of that, the parent develops a belief that this child is important, their happiness is important, their freedom is important. Later, the child acts like an absolute ass. The child acts just horrendously, right? And really, annoying for the parent. Maybe they're in that initial good feeling is not present, but they still have this belief that sustains them. They still believe that this child is important, their happiness is important, and that's why they need to not strangle the child. That's why they need to be patient and kind and so forth. So cherishing love brings a level of stability, and it's really this mind of cherishing love that we need most to stabilize. It's this belief that all living beings, their happiness is important, their freedom is important, and that in fact it's not different from ours fundamentally. Now, on the basis of cherishing love, you develop the mind we'll look at today, wishing love, and the mind we'll look at next week, great compassion. And these two are both the nature of wishes. Affectionate love is the nature of a feeling. Cherishing love is the nature of a belief. Both wishing love and compassion are the nature of a wish. Our feelings, our beliefs, our wishes, they're naturally tied together. Of course, they all influence each other. But if you cherish someone and you see that they're not happy, what happens? You want them to be happy. And that's wishing love. If you cherish someone and you see that they are unhappy, they're experiencing some suffering, what happens? You want them to be free from suffering. And that's compassion. And that's the mind of compassion. So the wish is kind of it's beginning the activation from these minds of love, of these minds of love. Now, of course, the next level is to try to take some to take some action, to say something or do something. And so there's this strong tendency to feel that love necessarily implies action. But I would caution that we actually need to decouple our love from action a little bit, in the sense that I was talking to somebody this morning about, he was talking about how he tries to help himself to be grounded and feel grounded. And I asked him what he meant by that. And he said, for example, if you see a war is going on the other side of the world, and it hurts your heart, and you're thinking about all the people who are displaced from their homes, all the people at risk, people who are separated from their families, those who died, fear, all the disruption, you develop compassion and you naturally want to do something about it. But we also have to recognize, but he was saying, for him, and I think for most of us, because we're exposed to so much information about so many bad things happening in the world, right, through the news, social media, whatever else, we naturally want to do something about it. We naturally want to fix it. We generally have little or no power directly to change any of those things because they're so far away, right? And there's this strange phenomenon of, the internet and media at a distance. You can see things that are terrible, that demand intervention, and you can have no direct power to help. As we're training our mind, our main goal is actually changing our mind and sustaining that mind of love, even though we can't, even in situations where we can't immediately fix things, because to fix some things, to resolve these issues sometimes is is beyond our direct power, requires requires other people's intervention, so forth. Some things can't be solved, et cetera, et cetera. But we need to develop this good heart. It's the mind itself that is most important, because among many, many other reasons, first of all, the mind of love, developing the mind of love will make us happy and peaceful. That's a very self-focused reason for this. But second of all, it helps us to really connect with others in a deep way. With this mind of wishing love, this mind that wants others to be happy. So, for example, you see a neighbor and your neighbor is suffering. She's unhappy. And you want her to be happy. You know who else wants her to be happy? She does. She wants to be happy, right? So when you're developing a wish for somebody else to be happy, what you're doing is you're also taking on, you're really aligning deeply with their wishes. And you know who else wants to be happy? Everybody. Everybody has this wish to be happy. So when we're developing this wishing love, this mind of wishing love, what we're doing is we're actually connecting with the root wish of every living being. Now, this is mind-blowing and transformative, but clearly we can't act on that. It's impossible for us to tie, if we have universal love, because that's what we're moving towards, a universal love, a concern for every living being without exception. We can't have universal love and also feel the obligation to always act on every mind of love that we have, right? To always change our behavior just because we care deeply about someone. There's too many beings. It may sound, so we need long-term thinking, because what we're doing is by changing our own heart, changing our own intention, changing our own motivation, what we're doing is we're gradually increasing our capacity to help. We're increasing the stability of our love and compassion. Normally, most of our minds are very unstable. They sort of come and go. If somebody's nice to us, we love them, right? Somebody says something unpleasant, we stop loving them. I was in a meeting earlier today, and just sort of going along with the meeting, and then somebody they said something that I felt was very disrespectful to a lot of other people, and I just thought, I don't like this person. The exact words that came to my mind. I don't like this person. And okay, all right. So, you've got the right to not like people. I suppose that's fine. But What's really important is not being influenced by others who have, negative minds or bad habits or whatever. But even if people have bad habits, even if people sometimes act in hurtful ways or whatever, we can still love them in the same way that a parent would love their child, even if they act in a self-destructive way, for example, or even if they need to practice some tough love. That is one of the most painful things parents can experience, is if the child gets addicted to a drug or something like that, and they're constantly lying, trying to get money from them, and so forth. And sometimes families have to cut off that person in the sense of not giving any more material help. But you can still have a mind of love, even in those situations. Because what we're really doing with this mind of love is we're looking beyond the superficialities of how they're acting right now, what they look like right now, their current tendencies, to just thinking, this person, whoever this person is, whatever this person is, may they be happy. Why do we look beyond what they're like right now, how they behave right now, and just want them to be happy? Because how they behave right now, how they're thinking right now, is the very reason that they're not happy. So if you know someone and you know they're not happy, it's because of what's going on inside them, right? So we're decoupling the person from what's going on inside of them. With this mind of love, we're thinking this. Importantly, to develop this mind of wishing love, you have to believe this person can be happy. Now, they can't be happy with their current depressive tendencies, for example. They can't be happy with their current self-centered tendencies. They can't be happy with their current angry tendencies, right? There's a lot that we'll have to, for us, we can't be happy with anger. We can't be happy with depression. We can't be happy. There's a lot that we would have to let go of if we want to be truly happy. There's a lot that others would have to let go of if they want to be truly happy. So what we do, this wishing love, this mind involves imagination as well, because it is imagining that this person is not trapped, right? This person not trapped by their current behaviors, and we're just going to the very heart, the very core essence of what they want, is that they want to be happy. They want to be free from suffering, and we're trying to identify with that core wish. It's just right now, they may be not going about that very skillfully. They want to be happy, but they think that, so for example, I have a friend who desperately wants to have a child, but no matter how hard she's trying, over the years and years, she's unable to conceive a child. Right? It's causing her a phenomenal amount of agony, right? So she desperately wants to be happy, and she believes that what would make her happy is having a child. Of course, if she had a child, she could be happy. But in her case, the belief that that is the requirement for her to be happy, that is the only way she could be happy, acts as an obstacle to her being happy. And as a result, she's experiencing enormous amount of pain internally. And, her own belief is trapping her. Her wish to be happy is so strongly trapping her in a mindset, in a set of, in an attachment to this dream of hers, this hope, this wish. That's of course rising just very naturally in her heart, but it is preventing her from being happy. So it's just one of, we have this. This arises all the time for all of us. We want to be happy, but our current beliefs prevent that. Anyway, so in the meditation on wishing love, we begin by giving wishing love to ourselves, giving love to ourselves, and recognizing how we want to be happy. As a little bit of a Anyway, this is an important mind. Also recognizing generating wishing love for ourselves, and then extending this generating wishing love for others. Sometimes there's a um, some verses that people say that helps to remind us of this. May I be well and happy. May others be well and happy. And you can think about specific people. May this person that earlier I thought I don't like this person. May they be well and happy. Um, and you'll find that maybe a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of battle, right, in your mind, like the mind that doesn't like the person, the mind that wants them to be well and happy. And, you notice yourself slipping back. Oh, there it is. I'm not liking that person again. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. And you train your mind. May they be well and happy. Um, they are just like me. I want to be happy. May I be well and happy. They want to be happy. May they be well and happy. And we just contemplate this. Okay. So why don't we spend a little bit of time? I think it's a fairly straightforward meditation, so maybe not any more explanation required. What we can do in the meditation is beginning as usual with a bit of breathing meditation, and then shifting to our feelings, noticing our own internal happiness, suffering, and then recalling this mind and just noticing this mind wishing to be happy ourselves, and then wishing for ourselves to be well and happy, and meditating on this for a bit, and then shifting gradually to this wish for others. Okay. So we can begin by finding a comfortable position. You take a deep breath in and out. Then another breath, just inviting ourselves to relax. And another breath, just asking ourselves what is important right now. We focus on our breathing for a little while, just to begin to settle and still our mind. Then we can shift our attention to our feelings, just noticing physical and mental feelings, arising right now. And noticing this wish whenever we experience any pain or discomfort, we want to be free from physical and mental suffering. And if we're not happy, we want to be happy. And we can think, may I be well and happy. And we can repeat this to ourselves, concentrating on this wish, love for ourselves. One of the most powerful ways to make our own mind well and happy is to meditate on wishing love for others. We begin by bringing to mind our social circles, the people who have touched and influenced us, those we spend time with, from our parents, friends, co-workers, neighbors, other family, and so forth. Imagine them all around us. Imagine that we're in a peaceful, beautiful, uplifting environment. Imagine that these people around us are happy, virtuous, peaceful, and delighted to be engaging in meditation alongside us. This is our mind of wishing love, just imagining them happy, imagining them having let go of everything that makes them unhappy. We can focus on specific individuals or all of these people in general, whatever helps us. And thinking, may they be well and happy. And for the last couple of minutes, we just hold this mind of love, wishing others to be happy. We can think through this meditation, we have deepened these inner potentials for love in our heart. And then eventually, through this practice, we can make this mind stable, constant, completely transform internally. We make a decision to hold this mind of love throughout our activities and using it to oppose our minds of anger, impatience, indifference, so forth. And then we can open our eyes and arise from our meditation.